Good evening, everyone, and welcome to RVing in New England. It is November 14th. We're getting really close to Thanksgiving. I'm going to drop the graphic down and bring Mr. DePietro up here. Good evening, John. How you doing?
Hey, Bob. How are you? It's you're close to Thanksgiving, and as we speak, you can see that my background is a little bit differently. I'm speaking to you from the basement of St. John's Church in Worcester, where they're about to have a Christmas concert. We can actually say Christmas here.
Yes.
So John McDermott, the famous tenor from north of the border in Canada, is putting on a sold-out show. And you know what? Since I retired, it's one of the volunteer things that I do, and I know that you're involved in a lot of volunteer activities. And so many of our viewers and listeners are involved with volunteer activity. And you know what? It's a time where you jam a lot of concerts and events between this time and Christmas time. So the Christmas season, I guess, officially starts in Worcester tonight.
Well, it's a good time of the year to do those kinds of charitable events too. When you think of all the other people who are less fortunate, and certainly we think of the people in California today and the wildfires that are out there. It's truly devastating to watch that on television. It's just mind-boggling that we can have a disaster like this.
You hate to think of just RVers in California, but that's the focus of our show. Think of the thousands and thousands of acres that are going to be gone for years, decades, 20 and 30 years before they can grow back, like Mount St. Helens up in Washington prior to that. But you know what? We don't know the stats, but imagine the number of campgrounds that are gone because of this.
There's been reports of a couple. Yeah, there was a report tonight that Paradise Island, Paradise, California.
The city itself.
The city itself is going to take 5 or 6 years to rebuild.
Yep.
Well, let's get on to some good stuff. We got a great show tonight. Why don't you introduce them? Because you were the ones that brought Audrey and Bob to us.
Well, since we started the show back in January, one of the things that we've done is, I think, bring some of the top leaders of the industry to the cameras here. And one of the things that I said, what we should do is to try to bring some campers, because it's an RV show, and RVing is all about the people that do the camping. And so for the past several years, I've at one time or another run into I still call them the Foleys, the Egans, Audrey and Bob, at either a camp show or a dealership or whatever. And I said to you a couple weeks ago, you know what? We've talked to people that make their living in the industry. Let's talk to people who make their fun in this crazy lifestyle. So
it's the second time. We did have Rhonda and Joe from Mass Good Sam on, so a couple of months. But it's good to hear the other side of the story, and we call it the other side of the campfire on our graphic. Let's call them up here, because I know they're eagerly awaiting. and there they are.
There they are. The Foley kids.
Right, there we go.
The Egans. What's the shirt say, Bob?
Natick, my old hometown.
Okay. Well, it's still your hometown. It's not your old hometown. It's still
We have something in common, Bob. I was born in Natick.
Really?
Yep. And it's very interesting. I never had a desire. We only lived there a short period of time. Never had a desire to go back and see where I was born. But 2 or 3 years ago, I was in Natick calling on a client, and I said, I'm going to go by the town hall. I'm going to go find out where I was born. Turns out the town hall is on Pope Street, I think it is. Well, the 2 doors outside the town hall was the house that I was born in. Right outside, I didn't have to go look at anything. I walked right outside the town hall, went down the street, saw the thing. It's an ice cream stand now, ice cream parlor.
Right.
I know what you mean.
Yep.
It was a manger.
Right. So Audrey and Bob Egan, real true RVers. Actually, I was reading your bio stuff that you sent us. You started out in 1999 with your mother's. Let's see, is that your mother's camper?
My parents' camper, yeah.
Your parents' travel trail in 1999, and you haven't stopped ever since.
Oh no, that's when we caught the bug.
All right, tell us a little bit about the bug.
Well, once you get out of a tent, you don't want to go back. And we started with the travel trailer, and then we went to a Class C, and then jumped to a Class A when the kids wanted to bring friends with them, and it was all over from there.
So, Bob, This is the end of baseball season. Basically, they have hit for the cycle. They started with a tent, moved up to a travel trailer, moved up to a Class C, moved up to a Class A gas, and now they've got their second diesel pusher. So that is like hitting for the cycle, if you know what I'm talking about with baseball.
That's true. The only thing left is the Prevost bus.
No, that won't be happening.
He drives fire trucks. That's as big as he wants to get.
Exactly.
That's why he's got the diesel pusher. So tell us a little bit about your lifestyle, because you just don't go 2 or 3 times a year. John tells me you're out there all the time. So this is a real big part of your life leading up to eventually your retirement. But give us a little bit about the way that you camp and what brings the fun for you guys now.
Well, what we do is we do a couple of week trips during the year, and we go with the same, a lot of the same people. We've got a huge group that, tags on any weekend, any week-long vacation, and we literally take advantage of every weekend through the camping season from, late March to the 1st of November.
Bob Zagami, these guys, as I told you, when Bob and I met today to go over the show and a few other things, and I said, Bob, they're gone every weekend from March through October. Sometimes even when there's snow on the ground, they're out there. And Bob thought maybe you were casual campers. I said, no, these guys are as serious as you can get without making a living in the industry. And I think the thing that does differentiate them from the Cavoses is that they don't work. They're not in an organization that she is Foley Inc. or they are Foley Inc. And by the way, I should say, Bob cleaned up well tonight. But
which Bob are you talking about?
Take your pick. But Audrey, what was the golf? Did you work at Pleasant Valley or did you work?
Yeah, I did. I worked at
Pleasant Valley. Okay. Were those the Cuzzy years?
Yes.
Okay.
No, it was Ted.
Teddy. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that. I said if she worked at Pleasant Valley, I would have known her. Maybe I do know you from there. Were you there with Diane Laska was there too then?
Yes.
At one time or another.
Yeah,
So
I was there for like 10
anyway.
years. Yeah.
Anyway, so Audrey has said that she used her event planning capability to basically stake out the whole season. But she takes it one step further. She has a spreadsheet with all the different requirements and amenities and activities. And I mean, you are probably working more in the off season than you do in the on season.
That's true, but you know what? It keeps me going through the winter.
Well, let's take a second here. We want to recognize some of our regular viewers here. Paula Duval, hi guys, yippee, looking good. That may be one of your fan club. I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah, we know the Duvals
Hi,
really
Paula.
well.
Yeah, and Brian Atherton's there. What club? Actually, he's got a good question, and I didn't tell you before. We can bring these up on the screen here. Do you actually belong to any clubs? Because we know the Good Sams out there and the escapees, but it sounds like you don't necessarily have a formal club, but you certainly have your own little group. Am I correct?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, we're kind of out there on our own.
They're independents, like Notre Dame in football.
I see. Okay, we got Laurie and Michelle are on.
Bob, while you're reading those, let me ask them a question about what is the largest number of people that go with you at any one time? And is it the same segments of that group that travel with you during the rest of the season?
Well, it varies, but I think this year at Myrtle Beach at Pirate Land is going to be one of our largest groups. We've got like 18 rigs, and the last I heard, we've probably got 3 or 4 additional rentals, and people are still climbing on board. And, we got to, every year we get people that come on, drop off, whatever, and they sign on because I keep a website. They sign on to the weekend trips, and we just keep getting bigger and bigger.
And you do.
That's your Pirate Land trip?
That is our Pirate Land trip.
And there's a big, tell us why you like Pirate Land. There's so many good campgrounds down there, and people, a lot of our viewers want to know some of these other places that you go to. Tell us what makes Pirate Land unique, or what you like about it for your group activities.
Well, Pirate Land is, basically, my slice of heaven. It's what gets me through the winter. When I know I'm going camping in the spring, Pirate Land is there. And I think everybody in my group is in that same boat, because New England winters are rough. And yep. Pirate Land keeps us going. It's got activities for everybody, like, the families with kids. They go to the beach, they go to the pool, they go to the Leeds River. Bob can say, I want to go golfing, and I'll be like, whatever, go. Because I'm deciding between the lazy river and the beach.
Plus, Pirate Land isn't as uptight as some of the other campgrounds right around there. They don't.
In terms of their regulations or restrictions, Bob?
Yeah. They're a little easier to get along with, I guess is the best way to say it.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. We got a question from, let's see. Oh, Two Gals and a Dog. They stayed at Lakeland. That's right. If I remember correctly, that's kind of right next door to. Pirate down the street. Lakeland is next to Ocean State, right, or Ocean Lakes.
Yes, there's 3 of them in a row.
Yeah, that's right next to Pirate Land. We stayed there once, but a little too many rules for my liking.
Well, plus Pirate Land offers, you look over at Lakeland or Ocean Lakes, and they don't have the little tiki huts, which when you're there and it's hot, those tiki huts are great on your site.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those down there. Yeah.
And that's another thing that everybody in the group likes about it. If you can't put your awnings out because it does get windy down there, at least you've got some place to get some shade. Okay,
Brian's got a question. I know it says Lisa, but that's his wife. They run Two Feathers Restoration up in Deerfield, Mass. We had him on about 3 or 4 weeks ago. He wants to know if Pirate Land is friendly to vintage trailers and units. Do you see any of those vintage trailers when you're out there?
We have. We had a friend.
Not a lot, but I don't think they have any restrictions on the type.
They don't ask. They don't. When you call and you say I've got X size rig, they don't say, they don't have restrictions that I know of, like, nothing under 10 years can be here or anything like that.
That's good.
And we have seen some old rigs there,
Yeah.
So have you, unless you did this when I ran off to close the door, have you tried other places in Myrtle and then settled on the de facto place would be Pirate Land? We
tried once, the one right next door,
Lakewood.
Lakewood.
Yes. Right. Yeah, Lakewood.
Okay. You haven't been to Ocean Lakes?
No, we've been through Ocean Lakes.
Actually, one year, just for giggles, we went to
we drove
everywhere.
Around. We went to everywhere.
And it was like none of the amenities, none of the site sizes could actually compare with Pirate Land. As far as the ones along the beach, which was where we wanted to be, Pirate Land was #1 for us.
Yeah. Jerry's one of our regulars. He's on tonight. He'd been to Ocean Lakes. He says, not our kind of place, but they were right on the beach.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Not your kind of place, Jerry, because it was too big, or just the amenities themselves. And Ed Laturco is with us tonight.
Tell Ed I said hello.
Yeah, you ran into it at Gillette Stadium last week, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He came right up to me.
Ed was recognized by the Kraft family, him and along with 200 Vietnam vets, at Gillette Stadium last week in a special ceremony. And who shows up but DePietro? What were you doing there, DePietro?
I got a phone call from Stringer, one of this online site that hires people all over the country to shoot video for events. And they checked, because I signed up for them, my phone is my GPS. They knew I was in Foxborough, and they pinged me and said, can you go to Gillette Stadium to shoot some video? And they said, Tom Brady wants to meet you and get his picture with you. So I said, sure, I'll go up. And then Ed stopped me. But you know what? The Egans have something very special about, you'll have a veteran soon, right? A veteran son.
Oh, he is a veteran now.
Oh, he's out.
He's
okay.
out. Yep.
Tell us about his background in the Navy.
Well, he spent 6 years in the Navy. He was nuclear machinist mate on the aircraft carrier Harry S. Truman.
Wow.
Okay.
Nice ship too.
Now, Bob, one other thing that the Egans are famous for is Audrey kind of is like the travel. She's like a human travel channel. She'll give us traffic reports. She'll give us weather reports. She'll give us Bob hasn't stopped to go pee yet.
No, I haven't gone that far.
Reports. She'll give us. We can always count on when they reach the Delaware Bridge.
Oh yeah, there's certain milestones that she.
The Tappan Zee starts it off.
Tappan Zee.
Yeah.
Audrey, I'm gonna guess this is probably a relative.
Who is a relative?
Oh, Diana Foley.
Oh, Diana. Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Hi, Di.
Hey, Jerry's being a wise guy tonight.
A good place to be from.
For native. Well, we are from there. That's a good point. Hey.
I'm from Wellesley.
Oh, okay. We talked a little bit about your forever rig. So tell us a little bit about your latest adventure. And I know you haven't taken delivery of it yet, but tell us about the latest prize that you got there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a Tiffin
Allegro
Red 37 PA. So we're gonna pick it up on the 24th.
A week from Saturday.
And we shall see.
Well, we've had enough rigs now that
Yeah, we know what we're looking for.
As far as the amenities go, we love the Soleil. And it just turned out that it was too cramped, with two large dogs and us. And, we're looking at going full time at some point for retirement. And when we saw the Tiffin, it had the larger side bathroom that my old Seabreeze had, which really appealed to me. And, it's just got enough more space so that I think it'll be a good long-term rig.
Okay.
But how much did the opinion of other people that may have had a Tiffin motor, how much did that play into it? Was it just that you liked the layout, or were you influenced by other campers? Because campers talk to each other, whether it's good or whether it's bad. They tell people what they like, they don't like. They tell what dealers they like, what dealers they don't like. How does that play into your group? What kind of influence do you have?
Not a whole lot. I mean, we knew that, Tiffin's got a good name, and we had heard, I'd never heard anything bad about Tiffin, so that did help.
Now, I'm going to guess, Bob, that in not too distant future, we'll be getting live video updates from Audrey in Red Bay, Alabama.
Well, that could be, yeah.
When they go down, just to meet Bob Tiffin.
You have to take a trip to Red Bay. You can't have a Tiffin and not go to Red Bay and sit in Bob's office and talk to Bob Tiffin and meet the family and see how the workers go down there. It's a great company.
Well, one of the things about Facebook that I found helpful when you're looking for a rig, which, back when we were looking at Seabreeze, these groups weren't on Facebook.
Right.
When we got the Soleil, there was a Soleil, Itasca, Forza owners group, and they posted everything. The mods they did, the problems they had, the dealers they liked, the dealers they didn't like, the Freightliners, whoever. There was a lot of information out there. And so when we were looking at the Tiffin, I found a Facebook group on Tiffin owners, and they just raved about the rigs. So I felt a lot better about what we found what we liked, but I also had a lot of positive validation from this group that we were getting a good rig.
So Audrey, how much of consideration did you put into the fact that there may have been several places to plug your margarita machine in? Because that seems to be the highlight of most of your camping trips.
Well, see, the problem is I don't have a margarita blender. So I have to rely on a couple of friends down in Myrtle Beach. There's a red one on the left side, and there's a blue one on the left side, and we go back and forth. So they make the drinks for me.
Okay.
Now, what happens if they don't happen to show up that particular week or weekend?
I'm in deep trouble.
Well, I think you'll have to christen the new coach with your own margarita machine. That
Yeah, probably.
probably deserves it.
Yeah. So another thing. Go ahead, Bob.
One thing before we leave the new coach, they've got an inside joke between Audrey and Bob. Now, Bob's a fireman, the captain in the fire department. He understands all the big trucks and the big rigs and everything. So he's got two responsibilities with the new rig.
You got that right. Transportation. That's my only job.
Mm-hmm.
That's your only job, transportation and sanitation.
Otherwise, driving and dumping.
You got it. I got two things to do, and I can't. It's pretty hard to screw it up.
Well, no, it's not. It's not. Believe me, I've screwed up at both ends.
Hey, speaking of transportation, have you considered or have you already purchased RV snap pads for your leveling system?
I have not. I haven't really even seen them.
You guys were talking about that in the last the cast that I watched, and I mentioned
we did a show with Gordon Wilson, the owner, and I was just with him out in Las Vegas last week. He exhibited at the RV Dealers Convention out in Las Vegas. They're reformulated rubber, and they snap onto the leveling feet. And his most popular customers are Tiffin Motorhomes. I'll send you the link. Or actually, I'll put it up. I'll put it up on here later on. But you want to put those on before you ever drive off the lot up there. And they got plenty of time to order them, and you'll never have a problem with the leveling system. Never slip, never slide. It's something you'd like, Bob. It's something you'd really get into.
Yeah, you have leveling jacks on the fire trucks, right?
No.
They're a little different. These don't come out the side.
Yeah, that's on the ladder truck.
The ladder truck. Okay, exactly. So another thing, Bob Zagami, that I thought the Egans would be good guests is that Bob Zagami always says that RVing is a family experience, that when you go into a campground, you can leave your kids or grandkids with other campers' kids and feel relatively confident that they're in a safe environment. And I know, Audrey, your crew is now what, second or is it 3 generations yet?
No, probably 2.
We're 2, yeah.
Some of our kids are camping now. I mean,
right.
Our son
adult
will come.
kids, yeah.
Other people's kids, their kids are camping. Some of them have bought campers, so.
Although we have had families that have come with us that had grandchildren come as well. And
right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, what is the feeling, though? I mean, I'm sure you've traveled in other modes where you've been in hotels and airplanes and that type of thing. How do you differentiate the camping experience from other methods of vacationing?
Well, as far as the kids go, I think you feel a lot safer because they're contained. If you're in a campground where there's a lot of stuff to do, like in our case, when we go down to Myrtle Beach, we've got so many people, there's people at the pool, there's people at the beach. And, I'm sitting at the beach. I don't have any kids with me, but I'm doing a head count in the water anyways. It's what we all do. And same thing at the pool. Anybody that says, all right, my kids are going there with these people and we're all counting heads, whether they're ours or not. And we know they're safe.
Mm-hmm. And another important aspect of your RVing life that I presume because of the posts that I see, folks, if you're wondering, these Foley Egan people are prolific Facebook posters.
I correct that. She's prolific, not me.
Okay. Generally with at least 30 or 40 pictures every weekend. But one of the things that is near and dear to your heart, I'm guessing, is the fact that you can take your dogs with you. Talk about your dogs and why they're a part of your family.
Oh, 100%. We only go to campgrounds that will allow dogs. And they love it. I mean, they're good pups. They're Goldens. Everybody loves them. We actually get some exercise because we have to walk them once in a while. But, everybody that we go with, it's kind of funny sometimes because a majority of the people we camp with have dogs. And we like to walk together. And it's like a pack walking down the road. Pretty spectacular to see.
The dogs are walking the humans or the humans are walking the dogs?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
One of our favorite, places is Normandy Farms. They've got that huge bark park, and we'll be walking down the road with more dogs than people, and that bark park gets very busy.
Where is that located there? Because I'm not familiar. I haven't seen it.
Normandy Farms is Normandy Farms or the bark park?
No, the bark park within the. I'm very familiar with the park, but not the dog area.
It's way down and back.
Behind the
You're
disc
almost
golf.
to 495.
Oh, okay.
So you got the disc golf, and there's the bike track that they put back there. They used to have the storage back there, but now they're expanding. But they've got this huge bark park. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Nowhere near the pool and the clubhouse. No. Okay.
Hey, Brian's got a question for you before we go too far away from your rig. Do you guys tow? You must with something that big. Have you always towed? What do you tow?
Yeah, we've towed, even when we had the Class C, we towed
Cherokee.
No, that was the Explorer.
Oh, the Explorer, yeah.
Yeah, so we've always towed. I mean, you kind of have to.
Explorer, Canyon, Jeep.
Yep.
And what's the current tow vehicle? Are you getting something new to go with the new?
No. There'll be nothing else new coming. We tow a Jeep Wrangler.
Okay.
They're probably the easiest things to tow.
And the most fun things to drive when you're out.
When you get there, right? Yeah.
Speaking of driving, Audrey, I understand you set a couple world records yesterday in your commute.
I did.
And that's all we're going to talk about.
But
you know why?
a couple of world records in what?
No, but you know what? Look at when Audrey travels a Mass Pike to 128 every day.
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Not every day.
Not every day, but
Not every day. Okay, but on a Friday afternoon or whatever day is your getaway day, after you get out of your vehicle and get into the motorhome, does your mindset change?
yes, because I'm not driving. And then I'm looking down at people that are texting and they're, eating, drinking, whatever. And I'm going, well, that's why you guys were such jerks on the highway today.
Because they're doing all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But Bob, when you get behind, well, I'm sure that you've played it over in your mind a million times, getting behind your new Allegro, getting behind the wheel and heading out on the highway. But when you were on your current one, or the one you're just getting rid of, are you? Does the mindset that you're in totally different than if you're driving to work, or even if you're in traffic? Don't you feel totally different in the motorhome?
Yeah. I never really thought too much about it.
I mean, knowing that you could pull over at any time and rest or go to sleep or use a dump station, other stuff like that.
Well, he does a lot more daily driving than I do anyway. So, I get pissed off a lot faster than he does.
Okay. Okay.
Then she'll take a picture and show you all the people in front of her that are making her mad.
Exactly. You can watch my Facebook page, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hey, Bob, I'm watching in a different format tonight because I'm not on my laptop. Any questions from our audience? Do we have any new people, or our regulars are all there?
Regulars are all there. Jason just showed up a little while ago. Walter Swenson just showed up. Let's see. It says my comment refers to SnapPad. Let me see. Okay. Walter's in Millbury. He's the incoming state director of Good Sam.
Good Sam, yep.
He has put snap pads on his fifth wheel. And Walter, speaking about somebody getting mad driving, I don't know if he got mad. Walter had an accident this week. Fortunately, everybody was all right. But unfortunately, he had a dash cam. So that's the other thing he'll tell you to get. If you haven't got one in your new motorhome, is get a dash cam. And I'll tell you why. Because Walter posted the video. He was driving down the street, and this woman is off to the right, pulling out of a driveway.
That was Audrey.
And there's a truck behind her. And Walter's just cruising down the highway, and she pulls out in front of him. And she stops. She froze. I guess she froze either she wanted to commit suicide, one or the other. And he slammed right into her. And he got his last estimate was $10,000 on his beautiful truck. But a dash cam in this day and age, and you got a big investment like that, do you have one now, Bob? If not, you really want to get one.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Do they have them on the fire trucks?
No.
No.
Some do, but we don't. We don't have them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because you can get a good one for $150, but don't get the cheap $79, $69 ones because they're useless. You'll throw them away.
Walter's worked well. Let us know which one you have, Walter, because that was a very clear video. Lisa wants to know: do you travel west, other than Florida or down the East Coast, or have you gotten that East Coast trek?
We've got the East Coast pretty well covered, but sooner or later, when we have more time, we're definitely going to want to go west. I mean, I'd like to drive across country.
Yeah, we just don't have vacation time at this point to go that far west.
Let me ask you this. I know you bought it at Campers Inn, and they're one of Tiffin's better dealers in the country, and they're one of our NERVDA members. How much did the fact that they have 20 locations, most of which, and Jeff Hirsch and they wanted to kind of own 95 from New Hampshire to Florida, so they've got probably 16 of their 20 dealerships are just off 95. How much did that play into your decision of knowing the dealer and knowing the multiple facilities that he has play into your decision, if at all?
I don't think it really played too much into it. Now that we bought it, it's going to be very handy if we have a problem with it wherever we are, as long as we're on the East Coast.
Yep.
We were kind of looking for this particular model because we like the layout, and they seem to have a better selection.
Yeah, they got a good selection of them up there.
We started looking. We looked at one over in Union, the one in Union, Connecticut.
Yep.
But it had a different layout. It had 2 bathrooms. We didn't like it, so I started looking around. I found the one up in Merrimack. We went up and looked. So the rest is history.
Did you because you were interested in Tiffin? Were you limited to Campers Inn, or did you look out on the internet?
No, I looked at a couple out near Buffalo, and then one down by Philadelphia. And we looked online.
I was looking at Lazy Days down in Florida.
That big one in Tampa. But I didn't want to go that far to get something.
Yeah.
And we worked something out with it, so it worked out well.
His Walter's specs on his dash cam, Rexing V1 3rd generation 4K. In fact, that's in the notes, so you'll be able to go down later on and refer to that in the notes.
Excellent.
Dashboard camera, recorder with Wi-Fi, 16 gig drive. That's a pretty nice unit. And I'm sure his insurance company will appreciate the video very much. They will not have trouble showing who's at fault in that accident. I hope the woman was all right, Walter, because she right into the driver's door. Right? It was looking nasty. So Maria Galante is here tonight with us. Hello, Maria. Welcome back. And Steve Giano. Did you buy an extended warranty? That's always a good question. That's always a big debate. What did you do about the extended warranty?
They put the hard sell on us, but
we
didn't bite. We had spent enough money at this point, so.
Okay. Well,
Bob, are you comfortable in going underneath and doing some minor repairs? Can you do oil changes and that type of thing?
Well, I could, but with a diesel, I take that over to a guy in Shrewsbury
on Route 20. I've seen it.
Yeah,
I've seen it parked there many times.
Yeah.
Are either of you handy people when it comes to doing minor repairs?
Oh yeah, owning so many campers so far, you're kind of forced to learn how to fix them because taking them to the dealer will just drive you insane after a while.
Well, in the last 2 rigs, we've gotten all like the schematic plans for both the rigs. Between slides and the awning on the Seabreeze. We downloaded all kinds of stuff, and you really learn about your rig when you're living in it.
Yep. Hey, speaking about living in it, Michelle and Laurie have a question for you. They'd like to know your long-term goals while you are full-timing. Will you keep your home or let go of it? Because that's another big issue for people that go full-timing. Do they just sell the bricks and mortar and head out, or do they keep the home?
Personally, I don't want to get rid of. I like some place to anchor, you know. So I don't think we're going to full time, but we're going to take off for a long period of time.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one thing. After last year with that damn kitchen of theirs, they're gonna make good use of that kitchen.
Yeah.
If they only listened to me and had my daughter design it.
I know.
Your daughter or my wife, one or the other.
Either one. They had trouble with that kitchen, like a lot of people talk about with their RVs, where they hear some horror stories with that. But
oh yeah, my kitchen makes an RV horror show look like nothing.
Nothing.
It came out in the end, though.
Yes, it did.
Yep.
Yeah. Walter wanted to clarify when he said stop over to Millbury. He didn't want you to see the damaged truck, but he wants to show you the snap pad.
Great, and thanks for the advice on the camera as well.
Yeah.
So
Jessica Lynn is on.
Do you have anything new planned? Any new destinations planned for this upcoming season, starting in April of 19?
We're doing the usual. We haven't gone into the full planning for the season. We're doing the usual Myrtle Beach, but we're thinking we want to go to Niagara Falls for the fall, late summer fall trip. Niagara Falls, Toronto, and circle around to the Thousand Lakes area.
Thousand Islands, yeah.
Thousand Islands. Go around the Lake Ontario.
Yeah, I did that last year, and it's worth it. It's definitely worth it.
There's someplace else that you've been, and I like this one because I've been. We camped there, and my kids were very young. We took them to the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and we camped over in New Jersey at Liberty Harbor Park. Tell us a little bit about that. So
such a well manicured
Statue of Liberty because it's the most convenient campground in New York, but I'm not sure we can call it a campground.
Well, it's a parking lot, but
exactly.
Right.
That's one of my favorite trips. I love going there.
Yeah.
Why is that, Bob?
No, I just love going to the city, and it's different. It's we usually go to a regular campground. You're off, in the woods. Everything's nice. It's different going in a city.
So what do? Walk down to the PATH train and
walk to the PATH train, and in you go.
And they get the water ferry that goes across to.
Yeah, we've never taken the water ferry.
It doesn't run on weekends.
It doesnn run on weekends.
Well, it runs during the week because it's for the business people. And it winds up over on Wall Street. Yeah, for all the people living in New Jersey. But you're right. It's you want to take your kids to New York City and show them the city, but what are you going to do? Spend the $500 a night in a hotel and spend it in a hotel?
Exactly.
You still got your RV. You can still sit outdoors and have a drink, but get into the city and get back again. So that's a favorite. Yeah, that's a great park.
Well, what's funny about that place is we've been going there for so long that when we first went there, it was pretty much a very scary place, Jersey City.
Jersey City.
And it has become so gentrified since we started going there. That first year we got there at midnight.
Oof. And we got there real late. I come off the highway. I figured I just killed my whole family.
I wanted to go home right there and then.
I think we were there when the kids were probably like 5 and 8 years old. We were there probably 35 years ago.
Oh,
yeah, more than that because his kids are 60 and 61.
That was before you even started camping in your trailer.
Yeah. The first time we went there was 2004. Yeah. But it's you go there now. They're building condos. They're right up to the edge of the campground.
I don't know how long that campground's going to be there.
I feel that campground's going to get snapped up.
It's pricey real estate, right? When he wants to cash out, yeah. Okay, so we got both Brian and Lisa there. So they're both there. So that was probably Lisa that was on there before.
Yeah,
it's a good one for you from Michelle and Laurie. I know they've done it. We've had are you familiar with Harvest Host? We've had them on the show right after.
You'd have a blast.
Joel bought the new one.
I've heard of them. That's the one you pay a membership and you can stay at wineries and places like that. Pretty cool.
At no
$49 a year, and you stay at wineries and museums and maybe some golf. Yeah, I think they do have golf. I know. Yeah, he did. He just became affiliated with somebody, another group similar to that does it at golf courses. So you can do it at golf courses also.
Yeah,
Oh.
the only drawback with with their crew is that they travel with 10 or 12 units, and most of these places will only take 1, 2, or 3 units a night.
Yeah, this would have to be when you're on one of your solo trips.
That would be, you know, when we're like going cross country, that'd be a good place to.
Oh, we did it last summer. We did it last summer, and it was great. And
It sounds great.
You don't want to spend every night at a expensive RV resort when you're traveling all over the place. You go.
No. Although, but let me tell you one thing, there's somewhat of a trade-off because people say, oh, you can park free at a Walmart. Yeah, but you go in and spend $100.
Yeah.
Well, we parked free at the wineries this year up in upstate New York, and the other one was in Ohio. And believe me, they made their money back because my wife went to the store. And she's a wine expert, or put it this way, I know nothing about it. So all she has to do is know a little to be an expert. But you know, we bought our $60, $70 worth of wine.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure Michelle and Laurie came home with plenty of wine on their stops too.
Hey, what advice would you give to people that are, you know, thinking of buying their first unit? Or let me twist that question a little bit. Moving from a towable to a motorhome, because you know what, you've never done the towable route, have you?
Yeah, we did when we first started. We had my father-in-law's
Travel
trailer, and we used his truck and travel trailer.
Because I think right now, what is it? About 85% of the business, Bob, is towables.
80-20, yeah.
80-20.
Yeah.
But
the fifth wheels.
how did you like this transition?
Well, we came about it. I don't know. We wanted to get a trailer, but I didn't have a truck. So that's why we bought the Class C. It was a used Class C, and we had the Explorer that we could tow. So it was necessity, I guess. So then we liked the motorhome. I mean, it doesn't matter to me because I'm driving anyways. But
right.
You can move around and
with the dogs.
And back then,
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
kids were small and they'd be roaming all over the place. I suppose we should have had them seatbelted, but.
But, yeah.
Now, Audrey, generally, if Bob's doing all the driving, are you in the front seat, or
Yes.
are you in the back chilling out, or what?
I'm in the front.
Audrey usually stays up front.
I'm putting my foot on the imaginary brake on the dashboard.
I see.
Then you reach your left arm over and say, Bob.
Yeah.
No, I'm nowhere near that gentle.
Tell us about Scusset Beach. This is a big favorite of a lot of the good Sam people. And by the way,
do we have Cabosas with us?
Walter invites your group 10 or 12. Walter, they got up to 18 or 20 to the Mass Good Sam rally in Greenville on Memorial Day weekend. So
Greenfield, Mass. Yeah.
Greenfield, Mass. But tell us about Scusset Beach, because a lot of people like to go camping down there.
In fact, Cabosa almost drowned there last week.
That's awesome. I mean,
it's beautiful, right on the canal.
You can sit out on the canal. You can go to the beach. They've got a nice little walking trail. There's plenty of restaurants in the area. You can go sightseeing. It's the only cautionary tale for Scusset is, if you go there, make sure that you have enough hose for the water.
Yeah, right. Especially if you're in those, ones that are near the beach side, right?
Yeah. But, it's great for, seeing wildlife. I'm a birder as well, so I love watching the birds, and, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Now, do you ever do the rally field, or are you always on the campground part?
No, we're always in the campground part. We see plenty of people in the rallies. I know Family Motor Coach goes there a lot, and there was a Winnebago group that went. They weren't
not this year.
They weren't in the field, but it was either last year or a couple of years ago.
Of course, you go with enough group that you could have group rates for every event that you go to.
A lot of times we do, and we get it.
Group rates.
Yeah.
And why not? Right? Why not ask for it?
Oh, yeah.
Jose Moniz has just joined us. He wants to know if Jose is the producer of Rolling on TV, and that's Michelle and Laurie work with them, and John and I have had a chance to do a couple of segments on their shows. You are wrong, Jose. It is not iced tea. But
Hold it up, Bob. Hold it up.
but
Hold it
Mr.
up so people can see.
But Mr. Laturco is much more astute.
Okay.
Mr. Laturco picked it up.
Okay. So just to show you folks the difference, I'm in a church sacristy. In
Well,
a
you got
church.
wine. Then you have wine.
I have wine. You're right. The wine is, look, there's the holy waters over there. I don't know how to turn this camera around. But, hey, Jose, it would be really interesting. You could do a segment. I'll suggest it right now, that I follow the Foleys for a weekend. And
Egan's.
Egan's.
What is it with the Foleys?
I don't know. Audrey Foley Egan. I don't know what it is.
Well, I guess she'll just have to change her name because you're probably incapable of changing your line of thinking.
Exactly.
And that
Exactly.
was all my high school classmates.
Right. We'll follow them for a weekend, and any material that we get that's non-incriminating, that won't get us in jail, would make for a great segment on Roland 9 TV. Mr. and Mrs. America Camper.
Awesome.
I'm insulted with Michelle's question. Doesn't even deserve an answer. Pay attention to Mr. Laturco. All right.
Yeah.
So you got one more. Huh? You got one more campground that was one of your favorites in Rhode Island. Tell us about Rhode Island, and I guess it's in Narragansett, Fisherman's Memorial State Park. What do you like about that one?
That's one of your favorites.
I mean, it's a state park. It's beautiful. I mean, they got every full hookups, and you're right near Galilee. You can go down. You can, if you want, you can take a ferry over to Block Island. It's great.
So, if you guys like state parks, does that mean you don't like casinos?
No, we like to overnight in casinos.
Overnight, yeah.
Like Dover is usually one of your stops, right?
Well, when my son was stationed in Norfolk, we'd go down that way, down the Delmarva Peninsula, and we'd stop at the Dover Casino. It was great. Now you got to come out and say, go park over there, and they drive around. They keep an eye on things.
Yeah. Do you ever make a trek to Foxwoods or Mohegan?
We have.
We have gone to Mohegan. I've never been to Foxwoods. Mohegan Sun we've been to a few times.
Yeah, we used to end the season at Mohegan.
Okay. Yeah. It's amazing. Even when we go down there in the winter, you'll see campers year round at Mohegan, which amazes me.
I don't know.
Mohegan's got the better RV parking lot, right, John?
It's the better of the two. Neither of them are 100% level because neither of them were designed as campground areas. They were designed as parking lots for cars, which they ended up throwing the RVs into. So a lot of people use jacks and blocks and everything. It's kind of crazy. But, if you're into going down for a buffet, and they both have shuttle services into the hotel. Right. So you don't have to walk it. But Maria likes it.
You like Mohegan and Turning Stone.
Maria, do you like Turning Stone? Okay. Turning Stone's another one, yeah. Well, they have an actual campground there too.
Yeah, Turning Stone, that's the one that I was planning on stopping at when we go to Canada later on in the summer. Right,
now,
because
but they have a real campground at Turning Stone, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have level parking at the casino that you don't need full hookups for.
Okay.
But that's perfect, Bob, because right there, that's right at Interstate 81, and that's the one you go up to Watertown, New York, and then you jump across the bridge up there, and you're in Ontario. And then you do the loop, so you're east of Toronto. And you can either go right to go to Ottawa or go left to go to Toronto. And then if you make the loop back the other way, then you come out at Buffalo and then come across.
Hey, Steve's
we were planning on doing it the opposite way, going out towards Buffalo and into Niagara Falls and up around Toronto.
Yeah, either way.
Steve had a comment about Fisherman's State Park. I don't know Steve, and has Steve been on with us before, John, or is this somebody that's in your fan club?
Nope. He may have been on before, but I don't know the gentleman.
Right. So he likes it, and it has great clamming.
Oh, right
Oh,
off
yeah.
the campground. Yeah.
But he says it's hard to get in.
Yeah, it is.
So-
you got
so you got a bigger coach, so you got to be more careful this year.
A lot of the sites are very sloped. Yeah. So
Yeah, there's
you've got to
certain
be
ones
very
you can't-
specific about the ones you get into. And you have to book a year in advance, and they accept
Really?
only a minimum of 4 nights.
Wow.
Well,
Yep.
okay, wasn't aware of that.
I
Hey,
guess it is pretty popular.
here's another controversial topic, and you don't have to mention yourself. But do any of your friends carry a weapon with them for personal safety when they're traveling? Because that's a big issue, and it's certainly a big issue if you're going to try to go to Canada.
Well, yeah. When you
Don't tell us about yourself because I don't want you to. But
Well,
are there people you know that do?
We don't anyways.
But I think a few do. Nothing. I think I don't. You know, I never really asked. But when we went to Canada, you can't bring them into Canada.
Right,
No.
right. You'll get stopped at the border.
Oh, they asked
Right.
you for a photograph. Of course,
Mhm.
they didn't
course, with
search
that-
anything, so you
With that big Tiffin now, you could tow a cannon in back, and it still wouldn't. You still wouldn't know you had it.
Not what I want to tow in, trust
No.
me.
I think that might draw some attention at the border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave it.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you put a camouflage drape over it.
So any feedback on Horseneck Beach, Jose? We didn't talk about it, Jose. You didn't miss it, but any comments on Horseneck Beach?
We
Oh, we go there a lot.
We go in the, yeah. I
It's
mean,
dry camping. The beach is rocky. Yeah, it's dry.
Oh yeah, it is dry.
And the beach is very rocky, but it's a nice campground. You get
That's
some
another
beautiful
one that's hard to get
sunsets.
into.
And there's a little island. What's the name of that island? There's a little island that you can walk up, and it's a beautiful walk. And there's not a lot to do in the area. If all you want to do is just hang out at the beach and maybe roam around and explore, it's a nice campground.
Lisa also mentions that there's going to be an inaugural RV show this year down at Mohegan Sun. Joe Gonzalez, who does the Hartford RV show, is going to do an RV show at Mohegan Sun in April. Yeah, pretty sure it's April. It'll be the first year. We don't know how it's going to go. I know I got 5 or 6 of our dealers that will be in that show. So we'll see how it goes, but we'll be posting stuff on that next year as we do with all the shows. And speaking about the shows.
Oh, wait a minute. Share,
Yeah.
Bob. We forgot to do the share.
Will you do the share?
Okay, so we should tell people, and we forgot to do the tickets too. We should tell people, folks, that regardless of the type of device you're looking at on this, there's usually a share button down at the bottom, and we normally get 3,000 to 5,000 to 6,000 views of each episode. I know that the Egans will have already shared it with their group, so we've doubled our audience already. But the only way we can let people know about the great things going on in camping is through sharing it. And as you can see, our audience is really part of our show. Bob and I really don't have to make up questions because we know that the knowledgeable people in our audience always have a great question for our guests. So please take a moment to share. And now, Bob, I will turn it over to you for our promotion.
Well, we are running a contest on our Facebook page right here. Every week we're going to draw, every Wednesday we're going to draw the 4-pack of tickets for the Boston RV and Camping Show. We did the first drawing today. We have notified the winner. We have not heard back from the winner yet, so we give them 24 hours to get back to us, and then we'll pick another one. So we will next week we may name both of them, but we do have our first winner. But until we hear from him, it is a him. We will let you know, but we have our first one. So the beauty of the contest is you only have to enter once. All the names stay in the pile all throughout the 10 weeks of the contest. So your chances go down every week because we're going to get more people in the contest. But it's a 4-pack. It's worth $60 for the Boston RV and Camping Show, which will be January 18th to 21st at the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center. So Walter commented on 4 Mile State Park in Youngstown, New York for Niagara visiting. Electrical hookups, but low prices, and you can use your camping pass to park at all the New York State parks at Niagara. And
Okay.
Ed, did you ever comment on 4 Mile, or have you been there, guys?
No, we've never been there.
No, we haven't been there.
I haven't been there either.
Post there for
Lake George.
Lake George. We've been there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice one up there and in that area too, and it's also where Steve stays. Believe it or not, we are already into 55 minutes, and I don't know where the 55 minutes have gone. Audrey and Bob, you know, you're very obviously experienced. You love the lifestyle. You enjoy the lifestyle. What would you say to people? And they may not be on here, but maybe they'll see the replays from one of their friends. What's the 3 best reasons for somebody to pick up the RV lifestyle and get an RV and just get the hell out of here?
Outside, we're getting to meet John DePietro.
Well, if you love to travel and you would prefer to keep all of your stuff, your bed, your bathroom, your clothing, your kitchen, it's a no-brainer. And it's more economical than, you know, some hotels. And if you've got kids, it's a great lifestyle.
Yeah, for the kids, it's great.
I mean, you know, our kids grew up I grew up as a kid trailering with my parents. And, you know, we passed that on to our kids too.
They still come with us.
They do.
Yep.
Adult kids, you're right.
They say, you know, if you get an RV and you keep moving, they can't find you. Well, they do.
and we wish you well with your new Tiffin, and I hope you will get a chance to meet Bob Tiffin one of these days, because he is one of the nicest CEOs that you will ever meet in this business. And if you Google Bob Tiffin and John DePietro and Zagami, you'll find
several interviews.
3 or 4 interviews on YouTube that we've done with Bob through the years. But it is a great factory tour, and to see the people in Alabama and get to know them. So make sure you get one of your trips heading down that way this year.
It's
John,
definitely on the list.
Yeah. Any closing comments or any questions for Audrey and Bob?
No, I just want to thank them. I think that they performed beyond our expectations. And I'm sure that this will be one of the highest viewed shows of the series so far. And I think that, you know what, we're going to have a conversation with Jose about following these guys some weekend and just put a hidden camera. I don't know if hidden camera, would that be good? Hidden camera, no.
No, I don't think that would go over well.
No, as long as we had a button, we had a delay button, a
yeah, it would be interesting to get the perspective of 8 different families and
you know what, they're good people, and you know, RVers have a stereotype of a certain type of people, but the thing that we found with RVing is that regardless of your job title at work, that job title gets ripped up and thrown away when you get in the RV, because haven't you met people that you know, are from the highest corporate ranks in America to people that are you know, have jobs that are not considered real high up the corporate totem pole? Haven't you found that to be the case?
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you meet all sorts of people, and everybody's very friendly.
Really, you should go to one of our potlucks, and you'll see the entire group in action. You know, it's good food, good friends.
Yep.
Of course, in Massachusetts now, potluck has a totally different meaning.
True.
Oh,
True.
And Bob, don't forget your important missions. Even though you have
2
a
jobs.
nicer, bigger motorhome, your duties haven't changed, even though you got a nicer, bigger motorhome.
No,
Driving and dumping.
that's it.
Yep.
All right, guys, thank you very much, Audrey, Bob. We really appreciate it. That was
Thank
a
you.
fun hour and a quick hour, and we'll see you down the road.
Have a great day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.